Welcome to the Fear and Greed Afternoon Report for Monday, the 3rd of October 2022. I'm Sean Aylmer. Every afternoon, we've got the 5 stories that happened today that you need to know about. Let's jump into it. Story number 1. With the public holiday in New South Wales and Canberra, trading volumes on the ASX were low today. The S&P ASX 200 finished down 0.3% to 6,457 points. All the banks were lower while the big miners ended higher. Woolworths closed down 1.3%, while gaming machine manufacturer Aristocrat Leisure, QBE Insurance and diversified miner South32 all closed down around 2%. The standouts were the energy companies, with both Woodside and Santos up more than 1%. Property giant Scentre finished up 1.6%. There was a bit of corporate news around. The worst on the market today was West African Resources, down 10% following a change in the military leadership in Burkina Faso on the weekend, where its Sanbrado gold operation is located. Core Lithium fell 4% after completing its $100 million capital raise. Fund manager Janus Henderson dropped 5% after announcing changes to its board. A2 Milk fell 2% after renewing its import and distribution arrangements with China State Farm Agribusiness. Story number 2 today, there's not a lot of good news around global markets. Brent crude is sharply higher, heading back towards $90 a barrel after OPEC reportedly said it's thinking about cutting production. With the Aussie dollar weak, it's trading around 64.4 US cents. We ain't going to get much relief at the petrol bowser. Iron ore has a major impact on Australia's big 3 miners, BHP, Rio Tinto and Fortescue Metals, and on the federal budget's bottom line. Its price has fallen about 3% over the past 24 hours. Even coal prices have come off a touch, though they do remain high, really high. In fact, record levels. And finally, gold is trading around $1,670 an ounce. Story number 3. Commonwealth Bank presented its climate report late last week and has opted not to rule out financing new oil and gas projects, notwithstanding some of its competitors have done so. Chief Executive Matt Comyn said the bank was deliberately adopting a posture of flexibility with complete transparency, adding that it was a chance to work across industry groups to help come up with an appropriate transition path. The country's largest bank also said about 3% of its home loan portfolio is vulnerable to climate change impacts from floods, cyclones and fires. In terms of areas it banks that are big emitters, agriculture comes in first, then home lending and then oil and gas. Story number 4. The auditor of the Star Entertainment Group has some concerns over whether the gaming group has enough money to pay the fines it might face following a review of its operations in New South Wales. The Star faces a bunch of penalties from the state regulator, as high as $100 million each, and could be on the hook for multi-million-dollar fines from AUSTRAC, the financial crimes watchdog. Auditor Megan Wilson from Ernst & Young wrote that adverse outcomes could result in the Star not being able to continue operating without the support of its lenders. But the Star says it will have enough money on hand and, just in case, has been in touch with its bankers. The regulator, the New South Wales Independent Casino Commission, hasn't yet indicated when those fines will be levied. And story number 5, Swiss banking giant Credit Suisse is teetering. There's plenty of speculation that Credit Suisse is this crisis's Lehman Brothers. That might be overstating it just a tad, but the Swiss giant, which is a big player in the local market here, is in trouble. Basically, it hasn't made money for a long time. It's expected to lose around $2 billion this year, meaning for the past 8 years, it's made a net loss of $500 million. Management is looking at all options: shrink it, focus on activities that suit its private banking customers, sell parts of it, split it up, and it needs to find money to do things. It's a watch this space. That's it for the afternoon report for Monday, the 3rd of October 2022. Don't forget to hit follow on the podcast and find Fear and Greed on LinkedIn, Twitter and Facebook. Join Michael Thompson and I tomorrow morning for the Fast 5 by Fear and Greed, the top 5 business stories you need to know in just 5 minutes. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your evening.